All right, I'm looking at the Fibble. This is the game that's just like Wordle, but on every row, one of the clues is a lie. They're starting us with Ultra. I'd like to have the yellows be true. Maybe we could do something like this, like Frail. Frail would work. Grail, something. Okay. Oh, we didn't. Okay, one of the A's is a lie. So there's definitely an R and there's definitely an L. But interesting. So I mean, is it possible for the yellows and greens to all be true? Um, something. Yeah, flare would. Oh, no, it doesn't because of the yellow. Oh man, the L couldn't be there. Oh, if we have an A, then the yellow L can't be true. So the L would have to be here. It would have to be that, and that is not going to work. Oh, very interesting. So I think I don't think the yellow and green can all be true in frails, which means I think the F is true. Could we do this? The problem is the A is the lie in ultra. So the R and L in ultra have to be true. We know there is an R and an L. So so one of those two would have to have one of them be a lie because it's green, like this, but then you'd have R at the beginning, A-I-L, and that's not gonna work. Otherwise, you'd have to have L, A-I-R? No, L, you'd have to have L-R-I-A, A-I. And that's not gonna work. So I don't think the A and I can both be true, which means the R and the L have to be true. So again, if you do the A, then the L and R and ultra have to be true. So the R could be at the end, with the L at the beginning. You could do this. That would work. But I don't know how that's going to work. Otherwise the R at the beginning, but then again the L has to be second. So I don't think the green A can be true. I think that has to be the lie. That's what I think. So maybe there's not an A? There could be no A. What if we did an I, UI? The problem is the L and the R. I'm thinking maybe the L or the R in Ultra is supposed to be green. That's what I'm thinking. But it can't be the R if the I is green there. So we know this is if we assume the I is true, then that R has to be true because we know there is an R and it can't be fourth. So could we do this? I mean, without the A? OIR or EIR? Wow. Okay. I mean, I feel like it's got to be or this or wow. Okay. So let's go back to the A being true just for a second. If the A is true, hold on. Did I think about A with no I? Did I think about that? I don't remember. I may have. So if no I, the R and the L are true. The L and the R and ultra are also true because the A is the lie there. So the R could be at the end with the L at the beginning. The problem is the A something R. A-O-R? A-E-R? That doesn't work. Or what about L here? What about something like that? Like, well, like what? Reals? I don't know if I like that, but at least it's a possibility. Or O-A? Rolls? I'm gonna do reals just because at least it's possible. Okay, so one of these A's is a lie. Still no contradictions there. So again, there is an R, there is an L. Man, now if the A is true third, all of the R L's are true. So the R would have to be at the end. The L would have to be at the beginning. It would have to be this. Well, unless one of these is a lie again. Then you have the AI. And then we're back to the problem of if you do RAI, the L is at the beginning, and if you do AIL, the R is at the beginning. I just don't think that works. So if we do this, it has to be LAR. And what comes between the A and the R? Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. What about layer? Oh. It doesn't work because the A is the lie, so you have to have an I. Okay. But what about something like this? No, because if there's no A, then the I has to be there. And the sun's gotten really bright, hasn't it? I'm like a ghost. Okay. I should be able to figure this out. This would work. But then you need a U or a T. Alternatively, the L is here and you have IR? Or... L is first or third, the R is third or fifth. Lurid. Oh. I don't know why I couldn't think of that earlier. Oh, you won. It was lurid. Are they talking about my solve? All right, well, I got it in 3, but it took a lot of thinking. I just could not figure out where the L's and R's were supposed to go. Oh man. All right, the double A lie was a tricky one, but anyways, got there in the end. So let me know how your solve of this Fibble went today. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.